Hello and welcome to episode 125 of Things I've Learned from Barry Harris. And today I thought we would just deal with this beautiful Charlie Parker phrase and concepts that you can get out of this, just one part of this beautiful phrase. It's actually his alto break, famous alto break on Night in Tunisia. And it's double time, so we're not going to double time it, but I'll show you the concept behind it. You have to know a couple of things. First thing is it's going to be in the key of F major. So the first thing you have to know how to do is, well, for this phrase, is you have to be able to know how to come up chords. From every degree. From every degree, up chords. The second thing you have to know how to do is put a half step below that first note. So for instance, we usually do practice this and we'll make it into a triplet. So we'll say 1, 2, 3. Next one. Next one. Next one. Next. So we'll do that. But in this particular phrase, he doesn't make it a triplet. He starts right on the beat. So he'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. Just eighth notes. Beautiful phrase too. See how it makes it different though? When we start on a different beat. It's really pretty. Then he does this other pretty thing which we have to learn how to do, which is we have to know how to do thirds in F major. Now sometimes what you could do is do a half step below a note. That's half step below thirds. Let's see. Sometimes you could do, which is you start, and this is what he does. He starts on a note, on an and. So for instance, if we do F-A, that's the first third. What he'll do is he'll start on the and of beat, 1, put a half step below that first note, and then go up a third. Go back to the original and go up a third. So he'll play F, E, F, A. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So it's 1 and 2 and 3, which is really pretty. 1 and 2 and 3. So now if you go up the scale like that, you're going to get this. Every degree. And so on. But you see, already that's plenty of things that you can practice on F major and take and really learn how to come up with phrases. Just from that. But what Bird does is he puts those two things together. So for instance, he'll take this thing, which is the half step below the chord, starting on a beat. Then he comes down a scale note. So if we come up a chord from the root, the last note is a major 7. We're going to come down a scale note to the 6, and then there's where we're going to do our thing on the third, where we start on the 6, go down a half step, go back up to the 6, F. So it would be this. The notes would be E, F, A, C, E, then down to D, D, C sharp, D, F. So you get this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that is a beautiful phrase unto itself. 3, 4. Try it quick. Really, really beautiful phrase. And you try to figure out in different positions, for guitar player especially. You know, any of these positions. Anything you could think of. Whichever one you want to do it in. So that's the first thing. So now what Barry, though, used to do is he would say, let's take this beautiful Bird phrase, ba-ba-doo-ba-dee-ba-doo-ba-da, and let's do it from every degree of the scale. So what he meant was, let's just go up the scale. So really, we started on the root. We did a half step below the root. We came up a chord. We came down a scale note. We did that little thing where we hit the scale note, go a half step below, back up to the scale note, and up a third. So then he'll say, do it on every degree of the scale. So we did it thinking of F. So now let's do it thinking of G. So now we have to do a half step below the G, up a chord, and then down a scale note, but then down a half step, back to that scale note, and then up a third. So now you have this, which is also a beautiful phrase. Listen to that over G minor C7. That's a beautiful phrase. That's a great phrase. Now let's do it for the 3. The 3 is starting from the A, so we put a half step below the A. There's the chord up, which ends on a G. So now we have to come down to the F, half step below, and then up to an A. That's great too. Let's do it from the 4th. Also pretty. From the 6th, from the major 7, and then back to the tonic again. That is so pretty. So now, as with anything else, we can also learn how to do, we'll take a phrase like that, and maybe we'll, instead of saying, which I love, let's maybe make the first thing into a triplet like we normally practice. So let's say, ah. That's also pretty. Ah. Do the second one. Ah. Do the third one. Ah. From the next one. Ah. Next one. Ah. Next one. Ah. Next one. Next one. Back to the first one. That is beautiful. Just putting making the first thing into a triplet instead of eighth notes. So that's one beautiful thing. How about if we take the same phrase? So let's go back to his original phrase. What if we put a triplet on one of the notes up here? That's a nice one. So the top note of the chord, when we come up a chord, would be E. Let's put a 16th note triplet on the E. And a 16th note triplet would be whatever the scale note is above this, and then back down to 6. So that's pretty. So the first one now, instead of this, is going to be next one. Next one. Oh God. Next one. Next one. That's a hard one. From the 6. From the 7th. Sorry. And then back to the first one. So you see, what the triplet does is, first of all, it gives you a slightly different sound to the phrase. The second thing, as a guitar player, it makes you have to play it in different positions. So the first one was cool, but the second one, that's okay, but watch this third one. See, that highest note is the one that I have to do a triplet on, so I might change it to starting on the first finger. And then that's beautiful. Let's do it with the 16th note triplet at first. Oh, I'm sorry, let's do it with the triplet at first. Or, I like that sound. Third one. Fourth. Oh boy. Fifth. Let's see, where can I do it from? Sixth. 7th. Back to the tonic. That's a beautiful phrase. So you see how we just take one little thing, little tiny phrase that goes by so fast from Charlie Parker, but there's so much depth to it. And if we really want to get better, what we do is we take that phrase and we learn how Bird played it, which is exactly what we should do. But what Barry taught us and continues to teach us is we shouldn't just be satisfied with that. We should say, if there's a beautiful phrase like that, let's try it on every degree of the scale to see what we can come up with. And I mean, I think on this channel I've done them with Bud Powell phrases too, and bird phrases before, but this is really some beautiful stuff. This is how we really learn how to do things on a scale. So once again, thanks for joining me, and enjoy practicing your Charlie Parker phrases. Until next time.